when I felt bad and when it would rain, I would go out in the rain and sit on a bench and just cry over what had happened because I thought, well, nobody will know I'm crying because it's raining. I grew up in a Christian home. I went to college. It was an all-girls school, Columbia College. And in my second year there, I became pregnant. Mom just kind of fell apart and started crying, and Dad was just really angry. And he was very harsh, extremely harsh. Mom went back and picked me up and took me to the abortionist. And it was just, I think, maybe the worst day of my entire life. And when they brought me home, I just went to bed and I just lay there and I just hated them for doing that. And maybe he just allowed all of this to happen so that Piedmont Women's Center would be birthed.
I remember standing in front of the mirror to shave my face and thinking, how can you call yourself a Christian and know that that's going on and not do something to stop it? How can you do that, Bill? We started doing these rescues where we would go in and we'd block the driveway, and of course we would get arrested, but during the course of that, the sidewalk counselors were having opportunities to speak with the girls through the car windows and on the sides of the street and all while they were waiting to get in. And we were seeing good fruit. We were seeing some of them turn away. We were seeing some of them get saved. We were seeing some of them change their mind. And we thought, man, it would be really great if we had a place to take them.
Went to the abortion clinic. I saw where it was. And I saw how so many people were going in. It just hurt my heart so. And then right next door to it was this little house. Some people were renting it, living in it, and I just started praying, God, please give us this house. Because it's right by the gates of hell. Give us this house. And he did. He did.
We started asking for counsel from other ministries. You know, would you shepherd us? Would you overshadow us and teach us how to start one of these? And no one would pull alongside. They were all afraid because we were next to the abortion clinic that we were all going to get sued. We were going to bring the heat down on the rest of the crisis pregnancy centers. There was just a lot of fear at that time. But in our hearts, we were just yearning. We just knew God was saying, do this, do this. We were off. We were in motion. That was probably late 1990. And then we went through the winter trying to get it ready. Pretty much moved into the house with a sleeping bag. I was burning pizza boxes in the fireplace for warmth and just started remodeling the place to get it fit for the ministry.
Right.
While she was doing a lot of the organizational stuff. We kept saying, we've got to open, we've got to open. We were ready. But we had apprehension in some of the ladies that were going to be like the director and the first counselor and all. They were apprehensive, you know, it was a little bit scary. I said, no, we're gonna open. We set the date. Well, we came that morning. When they went to open up, there was a little lady named Ruthie Call, had been acting as a sidewalk counselor. She turned a girl out of the driveway of the abortion clinic next door and was sitting on the stoop when they arrived to open the door for the first day. She brought her in, talked with the girl saved her baby, got saved, met Jesus Christ. The second girl brought out of the driveway, same thing happened. She saved her baby, she got saved, and before the day was up, we had 8 girls the first day that had either come to Christ and saved their babies or been witnessed to, and we thought, We knew God had, we knew God wanted to do this.
One of the things that really surprised me when I entered the ministry of Piedmont Women's Center as a volunteer about how many connections that the other volunteers and staff had with politicians in the community. Politicians who were believers, who were Jesus followers, had just been waiting for people like us to show up and shore them up. We had this shift going on of okay, well, is it political or is it spiritual? Which is it? So that was a little bit of a problem at times when I would go to talk to pastors about what was going on. They'd say, well, you know, our church doesn't get involved in political activities. And shortly after our doors opened, a group came together. God just pulled it together and started a group called Pastors for Life. And anytime you have a pastor step up and say, this is important, this is what it means to me, the congregation will follow.
Pastors for Life was a vision of Dr. Michael Clore, who believed very strongly that if we were going to have an impact in the pro-life community, it needed to be led by ministers, because it was a responsibility of those who had been called to preach the gospel to make sure that people understood what the Bible had to say about life. You know, Pastors for Life actually raised $100,000 and bought the property next door to the Lawrence Road abortion clinic at the time. And then they deeded that property over to the Piedmont Women's Center so there would always be a pro-life presence there. Every human life that's saved because there's a crisis pregnancy center on the corner that allows a woman to know the truth about her baby is making an impact for eternity, not just for life on this earth, but life everlasting for those whose lives are being preserved.
At that time, during some of those years, Governor David Beasley became governor. When he became aware of partial birth abortion, the truth of that, when other people were ignoring it, our governor, Governor Beasley, was the very first governor who signed a ban into partial birth abortion in South Carolina. We were what was called a crisis pregnancy center in the beginning, but as time came along, we knew we needed to do more, and we knew that the movement was to convert to medical. We started that vision and that dream and those prayers, and we were looking for a doctor to oversee our program because we had to have a physician who was willing to use their license to cover Piedmont Women's Center, and the Lord brought Dr. Kim Holloway.
Helping women be able to see their child and make some connection with the baby was very important as we began that ultrasound ministry. The ability to show somebody who's in crisis, truly not knowing what to do, and being able to see that life, that could make a difference. One of the things that drew me into OBGYN is just to be able to see life beginning. And that always was such an amazing thing. And the idea that one day it's okay to take that life and one day it's not, who gets to make that decision? I feel like I get far more from the women that I work with at Piedmont Women's Center than I give to them. I just feel like they are an amazing group of people who are dedicated to quality care for women who are in need. And this is not about judging anybody. This is about loving people where they are.
Piedmont Women's Center has been uniquely called and uniquely gifted to reach people that the church often doesn't have the ability to reach. Many of them in our churches every Sunday that we will never know are struggling. This ministry is on the front lines dealing with life and death every day, and they need to be refreshed. Most Mondays I'll go over and pray with them in the morning. We don't just pray for the clients, although we do a lot of praying for that, but we're praying personally for each other, and I don't think you can put a price on that, or that's valuable. That's highly valuable. And there's lots of different ways that we could refresh them as a church. That's just one.